Hi, this is Connie Jean Conklin, founder and director of SEASCAT, a supportive environment for adult survivors of child abuse and trauma. April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, and usually we try to go out in the community and present our educational workshops um, to groups um, and churches and organizations. But because of the coronavirus, we can't do that this year. So we thought it was about time that we got our educational workshops, the whole series, online on YouTube. Um, it's coming along a little slower than I had hoped. Um, at some point, I'll have to purchase a better video editor than what's free on my computer. Anyways, but this is what we've got. Um, we have a series of educational workshops, and this is the first one in this series. A child that's raised in a dysfunctional family with abuse and a lot of drama, um, they learn to cope and get through it, and whatever means works for them. But whatever works in your dysfunctional family, that same thing is not going to work in the outside world. But you don't learn that um, until you've left home and you're struggling. And sometimes you still, because you've if it was a parent who was abusing you, you don't trust adults. It's it's different if it's a stranger and you have a loving home to go home to. Even if you don't talk about it, you'll be all right. Eventually, I mean, it takes a little while, but you'll recover. But if it's your parents, the people that you're supposed to be able to trust the most, that abuse you, you might never trust another adult ever again. It's not unusual for a child, um, when leaving home as a young adult, to not realize that their home is different. And if nobody helps them, then they're going to continue to have struggles, possibly the rest of their life. Neglect is the most common form of abuse, and it is the only form of abuse that is prevalent within the lower socioeconomic class. Neglect can be a matter of the parent doing their very best and loving their child, but simply being unable to care for their child for financial reasons. Maybe the parent is unwell. Maybe they lack the skills for to maintain a good paying job. It's important to realize that minimum wage in this country is not a living wage. I personally don't believe in corporal punishment, but that is because I was physically abused. What I did one day would get me a bowl of ice cream and my mother's approval. The same behavior on the next day would get me sent to my room to wait for my father to come home with a belt. I never knew what I'd done wrong or what I did to deserve getting beaten. I've known people who had received corporal punishment and were fine with it. And the key to it working is for the child to always know that it's the behavior that's wrong and bad, not the child itself. And it's important to know exactly what that behavior was that got them into trouble. And it's real important for the parents to make sure their child knows they really love them and will continue to be there to help them. Um, it's it's worked for some people. It wouldn't it wouldn't work for me. Um, if you or someone you know needs to talk to someone about sexual abuse, they can call the RAIN hotline. A Gift from Within is another international organization. Uh, they have some information out. They're one of the organizations that actually talks about males who were sexually abused. A lot of people don't realize um, it can happen. It does happen. I've known it to happen. And Darkness to Light is the organization. Um, it's in this country. It's pretty much everywhere, and you can get training as a volunteer um, to advocate for people who were sexually abused. Here in Western North Carolina, I understand that VIA can put you in contact with the training program, or so you can train to volunteer with the organization. You should be able to call them too for to learn more about their program. Just call VIA. In the future, I'll have a workshop on narcissism and codependency, and it should help with the understanding of the topic of emotional abuse. Survivors of emotional abuse can display a wide range of emotions or none at all. Emotional abuse can be the most difficult type of abuse to overcome. It can take a lifetime. All forms of abuse include emotional abuse. We will have a future workshop on 12-step programs that a survivor may wish to check out. There are two tools that I use on a regular basis, and they both come from 12-step programs. If there is a problem I cannot solve, I don't get all frantic trying to fix it. I turn it over to a higher power and I just let it go. And I update my gratitude list on a regular basis. What makes parents abuse their own children? More often than not, it is a matter of stress and having no one to go to for support. Many parents who abuse their child or children would be acceptable parents if their children were born, quote, normal. That does not make it the child's fault. Never does it make it the child's fault. But some parents just can't cope with children who are hard to care for. And it's not likely that these parents ever would have been great parents, okay? But they would have been acceptable parents. Um, with permission of some survivors I know, I hope to do a video on this at another time. Thank you for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe. Then watch our next video, SEASCAT Educational Workshop number 2. If you have an area of abuse that you would like to be the focus of our next workshop, please add it to the comments below and we'll see what we can do about it. Thank you.